ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं वामस्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमध्यां हस्तिनाद प्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा देवीर्जुषताम्. One more time. Not chanting confidently. Okay. हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं वामश्वं पुरुषानहम् अश्वपूर्वां रथमध्यां हस्तिनाद प्रबोधिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपह्वये श्रीर्मा देवीर्जुषताम्. Scale, you have to chant in the scale. One more time. हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः जातवेदो महावः जातवेदो महावः जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं गामश्वं पुरुषानहम्. New set of characters today in the class. Regularly irregular people come. Then there is a disturbance in the. If you come as much as possible regularly. 1 or 2 weeks, if you miss, that's okay. But if you come when you have free time, this is not time pass. This is Veda study. You come when you are able to wake up early in the morning. If you sleep late and then you can't wake up, you don't come. That's not the way study should be undertaken. So I'm hearing so many different sounds. So it's not perfect. So, because yasyam hiranyam, not hiranyam. I corrected it so many times. Everybody say hiranyam. No, hiranyam vindeyam gamashvam purushanaham. One more time. Hiranyavarnam.
Hiranyavarnam harinim suvarnarajatassrajam.
Again, I want to ask a question. How many of you, after coming to the class, put an effort to practice at home? That's a pretty good number. If you don't really perfect the sound, the intonation, then you cannot chant Veda. The reason why only certain people are given the privilege to chant Veda is because they have focus and attention to it. And you have to have the intent to chant the Veda. Not simply chanting Veda because I also can chant Vedas. It has become a fashion nowadays. I also can chant Lalita Sahasranam. I also can chant Vishnu Sahasranam. It has become a status quo rather than what is the purpose of the chanting. Why God really cares whether you are proficient in chanting some mantras. These are for ourselves. Just like you expect your children to practice or do their homework, if you are learning something, you should have the same principle and discipline. Otherwise, how can the children follow what we tell them to do? It's hypocrisy. If you are an SSC teacher and you don't follow what you are telling the students, Swami says, it's hypocrisy. What happens before curtain and behind curtain, two different things. That's hypocrisy. Before curtain, behind curtain, you have to be the same individual. Have you stopped eating before curtain, behind curtain? Have we stopped doing something? Similarly, the purpose, at least of these Vedas, for me, is really how is it pushing me to the next level in my own spiritual discipline and transformation. It's nothing less, nothing more. It doesn't really matter who endorses us to chant, who qualifies us to chant, whether it is endorsed by some organization from by church or temple, it does not matter, because all this is at individual level and at collective level. So when we are chanting the mantra, the very first principle why there is a beautiful sound associated with this chants. And the chants sound is not like crazy ragas or anything. They didn't compose Ashwapurvam, Radha, they didn't compose like a music. It's very simple intonation, like a heartbeat. Up, down, flat. Up, down, flat. The sound of the Veda is the heartbeat of the individual. Only three happening. Once in a while, there will be a little bit click. More blood is pumped. Okay? So, what we are chanting is only 4 notes at the end of the day. It's not so complex. When you are playing music, it is so complex. When you are chanting Veda, it is not that complex. Sound is the essence of the Veda. It is Shabda Brahman. Why sound is the essence of the Vedas is because it is through that sound that everything has originated. Isn't it? It's through that sound everything has originated. The beauty of the sound is, Swami said, did I share this story? Some students were playing basketball. Huh? Did I share this story? No. Students were playing basketball. And Swami was sitting watching the basketball. There's a lot of sound that's happening. And he is present there, everybody is silent. The only sound they are hearing is what? Tuk, 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 and then shoot. This is the only sound. And the hall was resonating because of that sound. Swami looked at the boy next to him and said, "Chala sound undi kada." He said, "We're too noisy, no?" And the boy didn't know what to say. I said, "Yes, Swami." He said, "Listen to the silence between the two sounds. Don't listen to the sound. Listen to the silence between the two sounds." When we are chanting the Vedas, what happens is, when the intonations happen, there is split silence that happens between the mantras. When the mind is able to catch that silence, then it's so beautiful. It is so phenomenal. That's why when we are chanting even Omkara, what happens nowadays? People are like, Om, Om, Om. That's all. They're walking around, watching everything around. Between the two silence of the first Om and the second Om, there is beauty. There is a purpose of pranayama. There is a purpose why people are asked to first connect to their breath even before starting doing puja. What the pranayama is, what do they do in pranayama? When you go to the temple, the guy holds the nose like that, and then he throws some akshatas. There is no purpose of doing that. There is what is called pranayama. You are supposed to sit straight, and then you are supposed to have a proper posture, and then you are using your right nostril to close your thumb to close your right nostril. There is no air in the body, period. And then you are invoking the life from the bottom where you are feeling the earth's gravitational force where you are sitting, and from there you get the energy inside and you lift it through chanting while you are doing Om Bhuv, very bottom, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Ahaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam. Until then you are taking the breath only with one nostril, just breathing like that. And when you are doing that, you are taking the entire energy of the Mother Earth with you and raise the energy within you. Satyam, you close both nostrils. And from there point onwards, there you stop your breath at the tip of your Sahasrara, and then you chant Om Apo Om Tat Savitravarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Then close this nostril, leave Apo Jyoti Raso Amrutam Brahma Bhur Bhuvaswar Om. It's a cycle. Then what happened? When doing that, there is absolutely no thought process. The mind is completely stilled, and you do it at least 3 times. Then after that, you start your worship, because the mind is now stable. It is not wandering, wavering. This is the purpose of doing pranayama. How many people you see doing pranayama like this? It's become simply a drama and a ritual that has taken no meaning in our lives. And hence what happens is, even the Veda chanting has become like that. Then what happens is, slowly people who are not connected to all of this and they have no understanding, not all of you, I'm talking about outside of the hall. Then what happens is, then when we are doing these things, there is nobody that's even able to explain what pranayama is. Why we are doing pranayama? What is the purpose of doing pranayama? If you know your breath, then you know your mind. If you know your breathing pattern, then you know your mind. How many people actually, raise your hand, consciously breathe at least a few times a day? Consciously breathe. Yeah. You have to consciously breathe. The only reason why you know you are alive is because you are breathing. Not only you, anything that is living, the definition of anything that is living is breathing. How many times we are knowing that we are alive? Truly alive? Only when you feel hungry you are alive. Not any of the rest of the time, right? Then what happens is, when we know our breath, it is called Ayurveda. Vid means to know, Ayu is your life. To know your life is Ayurveda. What you are treated by something that is not even natural to your body is un-Ayurveda. It's because everything that you are taking from outside that is unnatural, not even existing in nature, that is allopathy. That's why it's called allopathy. Not that is natural to you. It's called allopathy. But now don't do this at home. If you have disease and diabetes, please take your medication only. Don't listen to me. What I am saying is, when we actually do something that is quite natural to ourselves, what is it that is quite natural to ourselves? First is very much breathing. And when you breathe, then you know you are alive. If you don't know what your breathing pattern, how can you know yourself? Right? When we know our breathing pattern is, then life becomes everything. That is the whole principle of what Swami has given this in such fundamental way that it is astonishing, amazing that he simplified all of this, even so that we don't even understand all of this. He even tells the story about a monkey, monkey mind, right? How it is wandering all over the place. Only thing you have to focus is ekkarati manna go up, digarati manna go down to control your mind. You know the story of controlling the mind? No, you don't know. It's all story time today. The story is, one of the guys was so busy, like your father, running around all the time, or mother also nowadays. Why father? Won't blame father. Mother and father both running around like crazy. They want to keep themselves so busy, and they want to also drive the kids so busy from morning till evening. They don't have even time to sit down and eat at the same dining table. That's how much busy he is. And the father is, not only so busy, he's watching soccer, at the same time he's working on his computer, at the same time he's answering phone call, at the same time he's paying bills, at the same time he's running, all these things are happening at the same time. One of the fathers like me, who got so frustrated with his life, one day said, there's too much work to do. I need to have some help. And then whenever you need help or you're in trouble, there is one guy called in orange robe, sitting in the altar. You go and you pray, please help, I need help. Project Houston, I need help. Okay, God said, okay, fine, you need help. Tomorrow a servant will come, he'll knock at the door, he'll take care of all the rest of the stuff. Doing your garden, paying your bills, everything he'll take care, including taking your kids to dance class, Kuman class, music class, violin class, this class, all those classes he will also take you. So then what happens? Man is very happy. Now I can finally watch cricket match very peacefully without getting disturbed, or soccer match. So man comes, rings the bell. Knock, knock, who is that? Servant. Servant who? God said, you asked for some servant. Okay, oh, good, servant came. Servant said, I am ready to sign the contract. The contract is, you have to continuously give me work. If you stop giving me work, the only work I will do is to kill you. Man said, oh my God, what is he talking about? How can I not have any work? At least I have to post something on the Facebook, no? I will have at least that work. I will have somebody to paste on my behalf on Facebook. Okay, then man said, deal. Okay, sign the deal. So servant came. Man started giving work. Oh, do this, do that. I mean, he's like keeping the guy so busy. And the servant was getting everything done very fast. Now, who is getting worried? Man. Why is getting worried? Yeah.
Servant's gonna kill him.
Servant is going to kill him, yeah. Now what happened when he is in trouble? What does he do?
He goes pray to God.
Yeah, exactly. At least you know that. That's a good thing to know, by the way. At least you know who to go to when you are in trouble, okay? Yeah, don't call 911. You can do that too. But only when it is really needed, okay? So then what happened? Man went to God and said, God said what? I sent the servant. No, is there any problem? Is the guy not showing up because of some hours and something? No, no. Servant is doing a great job. Now I am in trouble because he is going to kill me. Oh, okay, okay. Then I will give you an idea. You go to your backyard, you put a big pole and ask the servant to go up the pole. When he is up at the tip of the pole, ask him to come down the pole. When he is down, ask him to go up the pole. So the servant had worked all the time, and now the man lived happily ever after. You never heard this story? Oh my God. Okay, this is Swami's story. So what is the moral of this story? Who is the servant in this story?
God.
No. Mind. The servant is the mind. An idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. There is an idiom. Idle man's mind is a devil's workshop. So when the mind is free and it is not having any work, what does it do? It destroys. You, first people around you, then you. Okay? Okay? So what you have to do when the mind is idle? Huh? Connect to your breath. Hello, not conscience. Conscience, how can anybody, if you connect to conscience, you are dead. So conscience, the only thing that is conscious in you is your breath. What is that is conscious in Ekkaratimana? Go up the pole means come down the pole is go up the pole, come down the pole. So go up the pole, hum, come down the pole. So hum. You don't even have to chant any mantras for 3 minutes, not too much time, at least 3